Around at the old dance hall on the outskirts. To her eyes when she stopped in to ask if he wanted to dance. He had a face like a mouse. Yeah, somebody said from the Bible quote, there was dust on the man in the long black coat. A preacher was a preacher. There's a sermon he gave. He said every man's conscience by depend on it. Be your guide when it's you who must keep it satisfied. There are no mistakes in life. Yeah, some people say it's true sometimes. You can see it that way. But people don't live or die. People just float. There she goes, the man in the long. On the water, it's been there since June. Tree trunks uprooted, beneath the hot August moon. Feel the pulse, vibration, and the rumbling force. Somebody out there is beating on a dead horse. She never said nothing. There was nothing she wrote. Yes, she got the man in the long black coat.
That's fun. Nice to see you again. Oh, thank you. We kind of forgot there were people out there.
Who would expect the weather to be what it is tonight? I only run these 4 times a year. You think, my January one could be good weather. Anyway, for those of you who are here, fantastic and welcome. We're going to have a lovely, cozy evening. And for those who aren't, why, there's going to be a video. Hi, Ellen. I'm just going to get started because we have 4 features and we want to make sure everybody gets full time. I'm going to start with the land acknowledgement. Hi, Margaret. So this Minstrels and Bards soiree is situated on Indigenous land and Dish with One Spoon territory. This is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Wendat, and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Minstrels and Bards gratefully acknowledges these Indigenous nations for their guardianship of this land, and we sure do. So welcome to the Minstrels and Bards Winter 2024 edition. I've been running this series for 11 years now. Yeah. So I had a solo art show at Urban Gallery at Parliament and Queen in January and February of 2013. And on my opening night, this fine gentleman just showed up, put a chair in the corner, and he played for the entire opening. It was such a gift. Oh. So I think he's going to play while I read, and if any poets, well, I'll get to that. Why don't I just read? Because I've scripted everything. So I'm Brenda Clues, and your host, and I'm sure we'll enjoy a cozy winter evening of poetry and music, especially with this inclement weather. We have a fabulous lineup. Harpin Norm is going to sing, play, and be the force that he is as our music feature. And the poets. Award-winning Lisa Richter, Lisa Reynolds, and Patti Cole, and Jules, in amongst the wet snow tonight. It's a free event, but with 4 features. I am recommending or suggesting maybe $10 to $15. It's pay what you can, and if you can't pay, that's completely fine. That's why it's free. But anything you can put in the hat will go to the features and is much appreciated. And this is a quarterly event. It's warm, convivial, and a supportive gathering that showcases and honors the talent of our community. So when I welcome John Charles Daly, who is playing, and he can accompany any of the poets here if they wish, whatever. He's a wonderful guitarist, a man whose passion is to play the guitar, who plays every morning on Awakening and anytime he can. So give a hand up for John. Also, a final note, I video, and you can find the soiree videos on my Minstrels Bards YouTube channel, and the way you can find it is just Google Minstrels Bards. So it'll show up right away. And I videoed every single salon, but I did have some sound problems when I first came to the Tranzac, so there are a few that never got posted, but there's a lot of stuff there. So we're going to begin the evening with a beautiful poet who has come from out of town to share her poetry with us. Lisa is a wonderful person, very present and supportive on social media. The more I get to know her, the more I love her and her work. So I'll read her bio. Lisa Reynolds is a member of the Ontario Poetry Society, Royal City Literary Arts Society, and the League of Canadian Poets. She is the recipient of the Ontario Poetry Society's 2023 Ted Plantos Memorial Award. Yay, Lisa. Lisa holds degrees from York University. She's published internationally in anthologies, literary journals, and magazines with translations in Farsi, Italian, Mandarin, and Spanish. So wonderful. Her chapbook, Pearls of Rain, was released in December 2023 by Beret Days Press. And do you have some chapbooks with you? Yay. Lisa advocates for social justice through her writing, and her poetry has been featured in art poetry exhibits in Canada and the USA. She lives east of Toronto. Do you need a chair or anything?
I do. Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa, coming from Ajax, like Brenda said, 2 hours away. Sorry, my voice is a little rusty, but no, actually, I just downed some. Yeah, thanks so much. So I'm going to be sharing with you some poetry today from my new chapbook collection, hot off the press, like literally just a couple hours ago. And it's called Pearls of Rain. It's a confessional narrative written in poetic form. All the poems in the book are previously published in Australia, Canada, the Philippines, the UK, and the US. A couple of the poems have previously been translated. I think I only mentioned one at the back, and that belonged to Monsieur, a good friend. So I put it in the back of the book. So I think that's a bit. I just want to say thanks so much, Brenda, for the invitation, and I really appreciate your support. And to be here with Lisa, who's like, oh my gosh, my idol over there, and Patti and Harpin and John. It's wonderful to be able to share in this space. And just before I start, because I know my time is limited, I just want to say today on the Canadian League of Poets, they had a little quote, and it was, "Poetry matters. It teaches us to analyze, empathize, communicate in a world that doesn't stop." And I thought that was so on point to what we're doing here today. And so, like I indicated, this is a confessional narrative. So all the poems are true. And some of them are about love, some about trauma, and some about regret. And they're also at different lengths, so I incorporated different styles just so it's throughout. So there are some haiku, which is, shorter, micro poetry, which is, again, shorter, and some of my standard shorts. So short, you're getting today. And I'll be repeating the haiku and the poems that don't have a title twice for clarity and for impact. So I'm just going to start. The first poem is a haiku, and I wrote it in response to a silenced contest, and it was one of their award-winning ones, but it really hits home for me, so I thought I'd start off with that one. Can't tell anyone about the voices inside. They control my tongue. Can't tell anyone about the voices inside. They control my tongue. So when I was growing up, we didn't talk about anything in terms of personal business. So being here and sharing this next poem is a biggie for me. I actually wrote it after my mother passed away, and you'll see when I read it the reason why. There are things we don't talk about. 1, the gun he hid under the dresser in the bedroom he shared with Mum. 2, how he raised it to his temple while standing in the bathtub. 3, how we clung to each other on an orange tweed couch, listening for the shot that didn't come. 4, how she told us to tell him we were happy he wasn't dead. 5, how we waited for the next time. She never sung to console, but took us to hilltops to scream. She never sung to console, but took us to hilltops to scream. Blue blossoms, her eyes, forget-me-nots. Blue blossoms, her eyes, forget-me-nots. Last words. Before she left, he told her he couldn't forget what she'd done. She didn't question his logic, just stared at the tube attached to his nose and listened to his labored breath until morphine drips turned high-pitched beeps flat. I think about you, things we did and didn't do to keep you alive. I think about you, things we did and didn't do to keep you alive. Bucket list, overflowing with pipe dreams. Bucket list, overflowing with pipe dreams. This next poem was published last year by the League of Canadian Poets. It was actually requested by Brian Burns that I read it today, so here it is. Fawn. It is difficult to want but not have. Then she appears, left by her mother in my garden sanctuary, and a familiar ache rises to nurture what is not mine. How blessed and unblessed am I to hover like a parent in a doorway. So, I'm a person with a disability. I have a pretty serious illness, and it goes up and down, and so I just, do my best. And so this next poem is called Shapeshifter, and it was published in 2022 in an anthology called Movement, Body in Motion. And I was a little bit hesitant to submit, but the editor I knew well, and he was so kind. His name was Stephen Lester Carr from Sweetie Cat Press, and unfortunately he passed away. So I wanted to include this poem for him. Shapeshifter. My body doesn't always move the way it should. It staggers, falls, before rising on tiptoes to reach staircase chandelier, swings from it until wings break through backbones, transforming dead weight to weightless wonder. God knows how this miracle nourishes me, a shapeshifter, soaring. This next poem is called How to Eat Crow, and it was completed as part of an exercise I was doing. I read this really good resource called the Practicing Poet, I believe it's called, by Diana Lockwood. I hope I'm saying it right, 'cause I wrote it down, but now I'm forgetting. Oh my gosh. But anyways, it's such a great thing. Did I? Yeah, okay, good, thanks. And it was so good. And so I'm working on my metaphors, and there was a poem in there by Frank X. Walker called How to Eat, How to Swallow an Elephant. That's right, How to Swallow an Elephant. So my poem, How to Eat Crow, was just an off-take, totally different. And it deals with the fact that over the years I've had to take an incredible amount of medication to keep going. And so this is my poem. How to Eat Crow. Write a poem about pain med addiction. Admit assertion, it will never happen to me. Empty vanity of prescription bottles. Nickname pills, blues, fast acting, pinks, slow release. Swallow superiority with pungent cheese. Let the taste settle. So this next poem is called Wanting More. I read this poem the first time, and actually Lisa was present too, down at High Park. Remember that? Yeah. I was in a bad way, actually, and I was using my walker, and I made it up to the podium. Well, it was outside, but it was kind of like a podium. And so I read this very intimate poem. So here we go. Wanting more. Sometimes it begins with a look. Gentle eyes appeal to my softer side, the one I want to share, but seldom do. I'm a complex Katie, living in the body of a delicate daisy. There's no shame in it. But when he says he wants me, I don't think he means me as a whole, just parts, breasts, legs, thighs, and what lies in between. It's a defense tactic, he explains, every time I turn him away. It scares me how kind he is, but I've never told him so. Tell me you love me, not out of habit or guilt, with a rawness that makes me believe. Tell me you love me, not out of habit or guilt, with a rawness that makes me believe. This next poem is another rather intimate poem. I wrote it in response to, for a love anthology. And the title of the poem is This Love? There are times when my eyes flutter open and I find him staring. It freaked me at first, being caught, skin flushed, mind sailing him above, smile building. I want to watch you enjoy, he'd say. And I'd look away, thoughts scrambling. Is this love? I want to believe, but fear to know. Knowing changes everything. This poem is for my ex-husband. It's called Invisible Barrier. In bed, we share space like strangers on transit. Not touching, not speaking, just present. Time ticks while we lie here. You now asleep, me listening to you breathe. Come morning, the sun will brighten dark rooms. The smell of coffee will fill cool air. But this barrier between us will remain. Who will break through first and journey alone? Laundry days, no longer his and hers. Laundry days, no longer his and hers. This poem has been published a couple times, but one of the main ones was through Valiant Scribe, and I'm very grateful for their support. This was a kind of a difficult poem. It's called When It Happens. When it happens, I no longer fight it. I let it do what it needs to. The cleverness I possessed is gone, replaced by a what will be mentality. He said it would be like this. All heartache would come at once, then leave me in a sedated state where tears are merely droplets that flow. Healing has begun. Acceptance, too. Yes, acceptance. An admission that changes everything, but nothing. My solo, a dance, twirling towards tomorrow. I've got two more poems. And then I'm gonna end. Oh, I have 5. Oh, I can go right to the end then. Okay. The next one is a haiku. I wrote this kind of like a little chapbook with my girlfriend, and this was one of the poems from in there. Long days, daring to be happy, cold shore. Long days, daring to be happy, cold shore. This one was published a couple times too. It's, anyways, here we go. You and me, caught in a circle of hellos. We avoid each other's eyes, side hug, and pretend we were never more than we are now. And yet, in that brief moment when you drew me in, I heard your breath hitch, the way it used to before we kissed. Beauty in believing. There is beauty in believing, beyond this grip of a knowing, that somewhere you have found that spark, the one you never spoke of, the one I never questioned in fear of not being enough. Some might ask, how does love not fade? My answer, by believing it was more than it ever was. And my final poem is titled Self-Love. I call it to me, like a lake pleads for waves to drench its desert shores. And it comes, not in pale drifts, but pearls of rain, draping me with wet light until I am smiling. Thank you so very much, everyone. Ten.
That was absolutely beautiful, Lisa. Thank you so much. I feel like you shared your soul with us. So, wow. Incredibly special reading. I'm just so moved. So we're going to have our second feature, Patti Cole, and she does the best promo posters. So check them out on Facebook, or your son also does some of them too, right? Oh yeah, they're really great. She's a wonderful, lively, warm person who I'm getting to know a little and loving. Her bio, Patti Cole is a Toronto-based poet, a singer, a songwriter, a cappella soloist poet, most recently published in the Ultra Best Short Verse 2023, a Canadian anthology. Her music is featured in the 2017 film, The Goldfish Bowl. Nice. WOS Radio California named her $17 an account of public hunger in downtown Toronto. Oh, in their list of top 3 social comment songs. Okay. Yes. Patti's first EP, released in 2020, as well as her more recent music, is available widely online. She's a writer of harmonies and a backup singer. She's an award-winning multimedia writer, director, producer, an international speaker, seminar leader, an acclaimed costume designer and performance coach, and a past teacher of literature, drama, and philosophy. Patti sings in the 5-time world champion North Metro Chorus. Welcome, Patti.
Okay, I need to get my roadie up here. This is my ad man and my roadie and my son. This is Jeff. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Jeff.
Good there?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming, and thank you. It was my lucky day when I met Brenda. Let me tell you, when she heard me sing, and she rushed over and she said, "I've been looking for you." And I thought, "Oh, good. This is really good news." All right. So, love. It's 2 weeks to Valentine's. 2 weeks, just enough time to address the dross that needs clearing at this time of year. A clear out in time to celebrate that ubiquitous drug of choice, love. Is love then at once the best and worst, the affliction, the grace, the mystery we all desire and fear? Is love, in fact, the honky-tonk rule? It's 2 weeks to Valentine's, and what do you say? It's 2 weeks to Valentine's. Take me away from the ache in my very soul, the break in my heart. It's 2 weeks to Valentine's, and we're still apart. Now, I'll try to sing this. It's 2 weeks to Valentine's, the honky-tonk rule. It's 2 weeks to Valentine's, somebody's fool holds the vigil to broken dreams, the drink to their smile. It's 2 weeks to Valentine's in true Hutton style. I wrote that on the subway, and I made my friend listen, and she helped me rhyme it. So there you go. So the power of love. And that was about, a month ago. So the power of love. We've all known the power of love. Love in shambles, love undeclared, love's true love, and hopefully soul-calming, self-respecting love. I did not say. We talked of poetry. I've since read Philip Larkin and admired his strength at imagery, at theme, at shock value, but I did not say. And it's been a lonely read. Now, Dante Alighieri, much quoted and revered for these 10 centuries past, Dante spent 47 years in his private 7 circles of hell in undeclared love for Beatrice. A deity stronger than I, he writes, who in coming shall rule over me. She knew nothing of this because he did not say. Maybe because he knew it's love you can't control. It's love you can't control. He can't make you love him, can't make you call his name, no matter what his longing, no matter what his game. He's perfect in so many ways. He's truly won your soul. But love is always timing. It's time you can't control. You can't make you love him, can't make you call his name, no matter what his charming touch, no matter who's to blame. He's perfect in so many ways. You've recognized his soul. But love's not bound by reason. It's truth you can't control. Dreams can't make you love him, can't make you call his name, no matter whose desire, no matter what the frame. He's perfect in so many ways. He lingers near your soul, but need is often hungry. It's need you can't control. Love can't make you love him, can't make you call his name, no matter what the season, no matter what the scheme. He's perfect in so many ways. You've truly known his soul, but love is never easy. It's love you can't control. Thank you. Thank you so much. And enter Petrarch. Petrarch, the poet, the 14th century poet, wrote 317 sonnets, devoted entirely to Laura, who was completely indifferent to his advances. Tears, bitter tears, racked his tortured soul, but like Dante and Emily Dickinson, as it happens, Petrarch did not say. He did not say. Instead, like these others, he found himself derided, not wanting to make the choice. You want to make the choice. There is something in the knowing love's pain will keep you warm, that lonely nights and longing will keep you in the storm, that pain will be your touchstone, that pain will hold the dark, keep you bound in hopeless comfort, hold your lost and broken heart. They've told you time heals everything. It works on broken hearts. It clears you of the sacrifice, the spoils of Cupid's dart. They've told you time is kindly. It spins to keep you through, but the cruel and bitter secret is a stark and awful truth. And I know that you can't see it, and you don't want to believe, and you feel your heavy burden might be ready to be free, but the pain that you must carry and the pain that's going to start is the truth that ruthless time can heal a broken heart. Ah, the truth that ruthless time can heal a broken heart will lead you to despairing. You'll wonder where to start, and you'll want to ask your own soul, and you'll want to make the choice. Do you leave love to the angels? Do you hold it and rejoice? So nice. I paid this guy. Okay. All right. And now, why does it hurt again? Why does it hurt again? Pain, stain on my shirt again, crumbling my worth again. Why does it hurt? Why does it hurt again? Stain on my shirt again. Haven't I learned again? Why does it hurt? Why is it hell again? Heartache to sell again. Game's empty shell again. Why is it hell? Why is it hell again? Heartache to sell again. Nothing to tell again. Why is it hell? Is there an answer? A life unadorned? Is there a comfort? A heart bruised and torn over and over for love and for joy? Is there a shelter, a calm from the storm? And why did I lose again? Something to prove again, shackles to choose again. Why did I lose? Why did I lose again? Something to prove again, paying my dues again. Why did I lose? Why did I lose? Thank you. Okay, enough. Enough of heartbreak love. Heartbreak love where every second is choreographed to encase and every word is calculated and bleeding. Can you let go the comfort? Though lost in love's sorrow, you must open your eyes. A new truth is watching behind his disguise, and the tears of the moment are soon washed away when you let go the comfort of love's grieved and played. When you let go the comfort of love's grieved and played. It takes more than a minute. It takes more than a minute to get out of love. To pick up the pieces, to open the love to the sunlight, to see if it flies, to see if it flows away from you as you pray it be, as you know it must be. It takes more than a minute. It takes more than a minute. And remember, while surely love in secret brings the romance of the thrall, true love returned and cherished shines glorious of all. Now, as we enter again, apparently, the age of Aquarius, where the percentage of marriage troubles cries out for a new approach to love, for a new kind of connection. Fill your own cup first, they say. Find your own joy first, and the love of the other will appear. Meditate on it. You'll surely receive the gift of love you. The gift of yes, the gift of no. The gift of hurry, the gift of slow, the gift of showing up, the gift of stepping down, the gift of love you, the gift of love. The gift of truth, the gift of lies, the gift of joyful, the gift of sighs. The gift of lost my way, the gift of being found, the gift of love you, the gift of love. Two hearts together, the road unseen, the love between us, the gift set free, with hope to guide us beyond our dreams, the love between us, the gift set free. The gift of sun, the gift of rain, the gift of pleasure, the gift of pain, the gift of holding on, the gift of letting go, the gift of love you, the gift of love, the gift of love you, the gift of love. How much time do I have? 8 minutes. 8. Oh, okay. Okay. You notice that the heartbreak songs, there was a lot more heartbreak songs than there were love songs, because you know what they say, a poet must be hungry or have a lost love. I am trying to eat a lot more, you see, so I won't be hungry anymore. All right. All right, so the truth of living. And I've spent too many nights standing lonely in the shadows. Now I see me in the morning, and I'm standing in the light. And the years have not been wasted, though their time seemed overlong. I have found the truth of living. I have found the lover's song. And I wonder, will it be that my true love comes to me? And I wonder, will I recognize his smile? And I wonder, will it be that the world will keep on turning? And I wonder, will I tarry me a while? And I found the truth of living. I found the lover's song within my heart. I have found the truth of being. I've found the lover's song within my soul. And I wonder, has it come that my heart has found her home? And I wonder at this warm, familiar place. And I wonder, has it come that the world will keep on turning? And I know I will understand this grace. And I know I will understand this grace. They say, they say this: grab 20 seconds of insane courage and you will arrive. 20 seconds. Fill your cup and the rest will be your glorious history. Can you search the glass? When you look into the mirror, what is it that you see? Is it terror at the patterns? Is it secrets and relief? Is it memories of errors? Is it loneliness and grief? When you search the glass for answers, do you welcome what you see? The secret. I look into the mirror and my heart looks back at me, and she tells me that she loves me and she sets my spirit free. And if only for the moment, I'm the best that I have seen. See, I've heard the angels whisper and they speak my truth to me. I have heard the angels whisper and they speak my truth to me. Now, through that long time passing, I learned to tell the lie, that I was the unwanted and never meant to fly, that lonely was my consequence and never was my cry. Then I heard the angels whisper, and they speak to me in sighs. Then I heard the angels whisper, and they speak to me in sighs. And there's been too many stories where the theme has been the same, where the lie led me to ruin, and heartache was my shame. And though I tried my best to trust him, through them all I paid the toll. Then I heard the angels whisper, felt their gentle on my soul. Then I heard the angels whisper, felt their gentle on my soul. Now I look into the mirror, and my heart looks back at me, and the secret's in the telling, and I see her great relief, and they offer me this solace, and they offer this belief. See, I've heard the angels whisper, and they speak my truth to me. Oh, I've heard the angels whisper, and they speak my truth to me. Ah, they speak my truth to me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dropped a couple of your poems.
Oh, I did. Oh, okay. They're on the slippery stuff. So am I finished, Brenda? Oh, do I have time? How much, Vega? Couple. Oh my gosh. Well, you might like this one. You might. Okay. How about this?
We'll have a break at 1:45.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. This is called One More Turn to Dance. And this came to me February 15, 2021, in the middle of that pestilence that we've all survived. And I woke up and I realized that on that February morning, I had one more turn to dance. I have had the sweetest life. Oh, I've known my miseries yet. I've had the sweetest life. I've won my victories. The mornings I can wake up and know here's one more chance and feel the grace of wonder. Here's one more turn to dance. Have you ever met your own soul encountered in your dreams and recognized that sweet face, the mender of your seams? Have you ever lost your soulmate, the one who captured you, and recognized the glory of the gift was handed you? Have you ever traded comfort for a path unknown and new? Put one foot in front the other in your search for something new? Have you ever thanked your parents for the hells that they endured? Whether for you or against you, they traveled life unsure. Have you ever found your moment, then watched it slip away? That extra breath you needed has kept you in this place. Have you ever known salvation, the breath of kingdom come? The trial of one more time around will keep you headed home. And I've had the sweetest life. Oh, I've known my misery, yet I've had the sweetest life. I've won my victories. The mornings I can wake up and oh, here's one more chance and feel the grace of wonder. Here's one more turn to dance and feel the grace of wonder. Here's one more turn to dance.
Thank you so much. That was terrific. That was terrific. So thank you. Another round for Patti. Okay, so is everybody back and settled down and ready to go on with the show? Well, that was an amazing 2 sets we heard. I'm so glad I video, honestly. I'm so moved. So our next poet is a phenomenon, a delicate, intricate poetry that is layered, complex, and yet sings, has a melody that is simple, striking, memorable. I'm very happy to present Lisa Richter. Lisa Richter is a Toronto-based poet, writer, and educator. Her most recent book, Nautilus and Bone, won the 2020 National Jewish Book Award for Poetry in the U.S. and the Canadian Literary Award for Poetry. She's a North American phenomenon, among other honors. Her work has been nominated for the Pushcart Prize, a National Magazine Award, and the Best of the Net. Recent poems have appeared or are forthcoming in Best Canadian Poetry 2024, Carousel, the Antigonish Review, Cantheus, and Plenitude. She is currently an MFA candidate at the University of Guelph. Are they ever lucky to have her? Huh? Her website is lisarichter.org. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi, can everyone hear me okay? All good? Okay, thank you so much, Brenda, for including me in this beautiful evening of music and poetry. Also, thanks to the League of Canadian Poets for their generous support and Canada Council for the Arts. I'm going to be reading a mix of older and newer poems tonight, and I'm going to kind of mix it up a little bit, which is not something I normally do, but I'm going to kind of improv a little bit in the spirit of music and poetry, which is such a gift to be able to be part of this evening. So I'm going to begin with a recent poem that was published in Plenitude, a magazine of queer writing. And appropriate because we are just past the New Year, it's called New Year's Lament. I'm writing you this letter from the bottom of the ocean, where my eyelids are bottle caps and my stomach turns burnished copper. Maybe it is time for a new oral tradition. All day I flicker, and sometimes I go out and leave in my wake the faintest trace of sweat and hibiscus. Maybe I am an embryo, by which I mean the procedure of unmaking a forest, a sidewalk moving of its own accord. Who am I, though, to speak of what space confers by way of singing? Maybe salutations are in order. Once we made hats of our secret inadequacies and laughed as we tossed them into starlit reservoirs. We are all on this planet reinventing ourselves years old today, and today it is all of our birthdays. Some mornings I am a winter tangerine, others a sewing machine from the turn of the last century, the kind your mother used to make your clothes with. The supermarkets are all closed today, as are the mosques and synagogues. Cemeteries are open, but the ghosts are all hung over in their graves. Deep in my body, an insidious God has stashed a ransom note. I've swallowed so many stars, a black hole gapes in my chest. I drape my arms in canary velvet, avail myself of plant life. I subpoena my memories of the past year, but now it's too late. They've all decamped for a home that is shaped like a teardrop. Thank you. Mixing things up, keeping it real, attempting to keep it real. What else can you do, right? Dream collage. Dream collage in 4 parts. 1. We go to Russia and end up adopting a toddler. At night, a tattoo artist sneaks into our apartment to tattoo me in my sleep. A gazelle runs towards me in a corridor. At a nightclub in Montreal with several floors and people in lavish masks and costumes, I spot Dad in the crowd. I call out Dad. He smiles and waves, but I cannot reach him. On a visit to your mother's house in Nova Scotia, the Atlantic extends its tongue and swallows the whole house and us inside it, though I am the only one who notices. Your mother goes on watching pre-recorded episodes of America's Got Talent. I go searching for a shower through dorms where all the showers are either full or broken. It is my birthday, and you get me a pair of reading glasses. I travel back in time, but only without my memories or knowledge of the present. I can relive the past, but only at the risk of repeating the same mistakes. I find out I am pregnant. The father is one of 2 women named Erica. 2. I buy endless cold cuts that go bad before I can eat them. A whole chicken I leave out overnight and have to throw away. Dad comes back from a long trip overseas. Surprise, he wasn't dead after all. Soon we get into a debate about Israel and Palestine. I go to a retreat at a sanatorium in Switzerland. We stay in a mansion haunted by the ghost of a Yiddish woman poet. I am on the subway drinking a giant cup of bubble tea that continuously changes color. Someone discovers an old Hebrew notebook of mine from elementary school. To my astonishment, it's full of Dad's handwriting. By full, I mean a single sentence. 3. My bedroom wall folds up like an accordion, revealing metal grates and a parking lot outside. I walk around naked because even though the construction workers outside can see me. On a cruise ship around the Great Lakes, a man jumps overboard. When we dock, I explore a city and find my mother playing cello in the street while my sister makes espresso nearby. Dad comes to stay with us again. We tell people he is, quote, visiting from Montreal, unquote. 4. I run sideways into numerous horses, disguised as fences that someone must have painted with eyes and pasted hair to. The sea gurgles like a clogged sink. I take the reins of the fences and pull them back sharply to my waist. The world is ending in 1 hour. In a gargoyle-lined garden, I pull weeds from the earth that give off a faint odor of burning rubber. My father wanders into the garden wearing a yellow poncho and flippers, asking me for directions and also a sandwich. Worldly friendship is epidemic. What I want is a little cause and effect. There is no time for loitering. I try to wake up the children sleeping beneath the wheels of tractors in a snowy field. Their cheeks are covered in an intricate lace of frost. I must find a way to save them from freezing, which involves dancing barefoot in the silken slush, gulping wine from a jug beneath a handful of dingy stars. Thank you. That one's very, very fresh. Hauntology. This poem was recently published in Carousel magazine. Before I read it, I should say that I can't credit myself with the term hauntology. I think it was Jacques Derrida who originated the term, and I think a philosopher by the name of Mark Fisher who popularized it. And hauntology is a portmanteau of haunt and ontology. And my philosopher husband could probably do a better job of explaining what it means than I can, but more or less being haunted by the ghosts of all the things that never came to be, or being haunted by the timelines that never happened. So this poem, Hauntology, was written maybe halfway through the first year of the pandemic. Hauntology. All night I'm harangued by what the future lets in. What remained unsung returns in full vibrato. My default is bemused derangement and sometimes deranged bemusement. Despite my best efforts, I am no less bewildered than an ancient sea insect caught in the gears of a Victorian phonograph, overdressed as usual for the occasion. The future wants us to believe in it, needs to feel needed at all costs, a clanging furnace in the basement. All the children I never conceived appear to invite me to their weddings. Here is my beautiful black-eyed friend Nathan, who waded into the Styx, come to anoint my forehead with fruity oil. And here, my younger half-brother, who was never born, waltzing with me among the birch trees. Forget lifelines, heart lines, the palm's tendrilled roadmap, leading us into gardens more tangled than when we left them. Forget the graphs, numbers blurred into glyph and rooster clawmark. Ghosts nuzzle our chests with stubbled chins, taking layers of skin as they go. This next one, the title is also the first line. So I'll read the title and then go immediately into the poem. And so it darkens the sky and also not the sky. The helm I reach for, and yet mistake again and again for a roulette wheel, breakneck cold with its own inscrutable violence. This love, this friend I love, in whose gaze I once imagined myself held without condition or question. The wind revolved, sang a choir of discordant voices, each one with a cadence and register infiltrated by some beautiful, unwavering forest. My friend who will no longer speak to or withholds in order to keep some fire whose embers want to sleep in the lap of cold stars from dying utterly and gracelessly vanishing, her only means of warming her hands the act of cord cutting. Should I be surprised, though, if I am one who only knows how to front crawl with my face out of water, pivoting my neck to avoid the glares of scathing naiads, algae-skinned, electric eel-haired, though I might see light arriving, its intricate choreography? How to know what I have blocked from sight, what I was never given the chance to unlock in the name of attempting not to become, what in the darkening blurs beyond borders. Thank you. Okay, as she shuffled her papers. That's part of the reading, right? Yeah. Sure it is. It's part of the performance.
It's a special sound only poets can make.
There you go. Thank you, Brenda. Okay, this one is really fresh. Catalog of the inventions and iterations of landscape after and inspired by Inger Christensen's Alphabet. Inger Christensen was a great Danish poet that I think everybody should read. The early morning light exists, earlobes exist, are reaching forward and backward, towards and away from each other in a tongue bath of tides. They're ebbing and falling. And the moon exists, the moon and the smell the earth emits in rain breath. Its wet blue-green camphor essence, and also the earth exists. Dry fissures, ridges, ruptures, and the touching the eye. The flicker of an eyelash, the cornea, the retina, the iris exists, and the shape of an orange, its orangeness, its orange smell, the pith, the seeds, the clear running juice, stinging sun-cracked lips, all of it. Open windows, and the words taking the form of sound that enters through the window. And candlelight, yes, candlelight exists, however briefly before darkness subsumes, but cannot extinguish the memory of it. And your hands exist, your voice coming through to me, even in my sleep, as if through the wall of a wet and echoing cave we venture deeper into, in search of evidence of time's oceanic and fathomable stretching, tracking each other through echoing corridors, dreaming that what our senses recall as daylight might exist at the end when we emerge. And you're finding in unexplored passages the new vernacular that loving demands, asserting itself in written language, the glossy stroke and gasp of the aspirated consonant, astonished glottal stop, now transcribed pictorially as round-flanked horse, now as pictogram, now as alphabetic pleasure, swoop and curve. Thank God writing exists, traveling along the page into the future, one ellipses after another, into the horizon's puncture wound. Landscape expanding into language, taking nothing prisoner or into custody but the appetite for space. Fields of frozen husks and frost-battered leaves becoming forest. On the horizon, a furry mustache tree line, and the sky pummeling all of it exists. The pond shimmering with chemical runoff from the nearby so-called innovation district. Sediment exists. The pond's diminishing littoral zone exists. tape grass, spatterdock, arrowhead, pickerel weed, filling in with silt, new warmth bubbling, and words like unseasonable, wrenched of all meaning. The sea in season whipped purple into storm, tilting, groaning, crashing, forgetting its own name, lips blue and foaming, rising, flooding, aghast at its unintended carnage, the force and violence of it. Tears exist, and the sun laying its head on its golden arms, the arms folded, intractable, at rest. Thank you. Okay, I think I've got time for one more. Yeah, okay, awesome. What's it gonna be? I think I like to surprise myself sometimes as much as other people. It's more fun that way, right? Thanks for bearing with me. And thank you so much to everybody for coming out on this really miserable night. Actually, I shouldn't say it's miserable because that's like kind of offensive to the weather, but thank you for being here and such a beautiful audience. I know I'm really woke and all that. Okay. True facts about grief. This is a poem from my new manuscript in progress. True facts about grief. Dr. Caligari was known for gaslighting icebergs. My arms ache from scaling beanstalks sprouted from the seeds you scattered, without care or regard for what invasive species might grow in their wake. As always, I go running back to a nest lined with books and microfiber blankets, too flammable to be any good for shelter. On today's menu, honeycomb and listless wandering. I collapse on my third-hand beach of a couch, mistaking the squall and fury of Jackson Pollock splatters for the footpaths of English mazes. You are here, the maps try to reassure me, but I mute them as I do the other positive thinking influencers. Like the good father you were, you left behind a suitcase full of underwear, a post-war German birth certificate marked Israelitish, a Canadian passport with no emergency contact but your own phone number, a wallet holding the change for the last coffee you ever bought. Not every drop of rain can be named and regaled with a proper honorific before it collects in the cistern. You were so far out of range that by the time I reached you, it was already too late. Bandit cherubs perch in the trees outside my window, armed with quivers of platitudes. Everything happens for a reason. He's in a better place, though no one will give me your forwarding address. Dear Father, do not return as a bird aiming straight from my window. Leave me a message in the form of a crutch that doubles as a crowbar, a dream recalled in all its searing clarity, the stovetop kettle's wild and scalded keening. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Lisa. Very powerful poetry. Wow. So rich. So I'm absolutely delighted that you came out on this inclement night and shared your brilliant work with us. And now, and another hand for Lisa. And now we are going to have the one and only, most wonderful music feature. So, yeah, he's a magnificent person and musician. He lives outside Toronto on a farm, and his photographs are stunning. Check them out on Facebook. You'll love the next half hour. Harpin emerged on the folk scene with a few harmonicas in his pocket, and soon began to play with many musicians and in many styles. Adding guitar and his poetry, Harpin now writes his own songs as well as writing for others. Having played in Toronto, around Southern Ontario, other countries and venues in Nashville, Harpin's uplifting and often social commentary songs are being covered by others and enjoying radio play. Harpin Norm's first CD, The World's Strongest Man, which I have and I love it, comprises 11 of his original songs, some on which he is joined by Nicole Coward. Harpin Norm's second full CD, Close to the Flame, which I don't have yet, was also produced by Maple Blues Award winner Steve Sherman. And he's presently working deep into his third CD. His website, which is fabulous, you should go, is Harpin Norm, HarpinNorm.com. Welcome, Norm.
And I don't think I'll use that one, which is close, but no cigar. Actually, there's a recording of this song I don't usually. It's one of my few songs that I don't actually have harmonica on.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to have.
No, I'm Harpin Norm. I got it.
He has to have his harp.
I just figured I had to say something. Yeah, I used to.
Look at, show everybody. Just show us.
Well, this is one of them. So
One of them. I know, it's phenomenal.
often, if I'm playing with others, then I'll usually have one or two more belts on, and then some more in the bag. So this song. Okay, so I write songs. I've often written songs for other people. Sometimes just the lyrics, sometimes the words. Sometimes I take their songs and work on translating them. Not that I speak a lot of languages, but if they give you the gist of it, you can work it out. And sometimes I take songs or poems. Well, I write a lot of poetry, but sometimes a lot of my songs come out of my poetry. And sometimes I come across a poem either written by a friend or someone like Leonard Cohen, and then I realize that this was never a song. And how that came about is sometimes even with songs, if I'm looking through a book, I often sometimes just play them, make it up, kind of my way, and then I go back and see how the original artist sang the song, and I usually love their way, but I often love my way better. Maybe I shouldn't say better. So anyway, with Leonard Cohen, so I'm reading through The Flame, and no coincidence with Close to the Flame, but maybe. Anyway, so I'm reading through the book The Flame, and I come across the poem I Pray for Courage, and it's definitely a song. So I just play, so I played what I thought it felt like for me, and only realized later as I'm searching all over the place that it never was a song. So I wish he'd come back and rectify that. Anyway, I'll see what I can do about doing that for him. And I Pray for Courage, a poem by Leonard Cohen. Then I put the music. I pray for courage. Now I am old to greet the sickness and the cold. I pray for courage in the night to bear the burden. Make it light. I pray for courage in the time when suffering comes and starts to climb. I pray for courage at the end. To see death coming. As a friend. I pray for courage. Now I am old. If I could write words like Bob Dylan, I'd write about how the times are changing again. How this is the moment in our world, and this moment may not ever come again. I write about people in power being above the law, who lie and cheat and fool us all for their own gain, who see power as a game, play with the world in dangerous ways, insane. If I could write words like old Della or Phil Oakes, I'd write words that empowered us all to mend our ways. Never give up on each other, listen to each other, compassion as the action of our day. We'll write the words that cut through it all, gather up our voices so we all stand tall. If I could write words like Martin Luther King Jr. or Buffy St. Marie, I'd write about all the needless suffering, senseless wars, disrespect for one another, all the misplaced children of a wounded, set to rise up and lash back angrily again. I'd speak out in words, maybe not just my own, but words at the heart of all this darkness, words which shed light time after time after time after time, opposite all then ignored and tossed aside. I may never write the words that ever make a difference, but this moment may not ever come again. But we'll write the words that cut through it all, gather up our voices so we all stand tall. We'll write the words that cut through it all, gather up our voices so we all stand tall. Who will write the words? So I'm back, yes. So, an artwork by me, and it's called Barn Dance. And there's my barn. It's also my house. Not that I live in a barn, but they're the same shape very much. And there's marbles going around. Basically, when you're a kid, you play with marbles and you're all in a circle and you throw the marbles into a hole that you've dug in the ground. And you all play together and have a lot of fun. And this is the same as when you shoot the marble into the hole. The hole up there is home. This next tune is Will You Walk With Me? And it is, where is it now? Must be this one. Oh my gosh, my harps are all mixed up. The other day I had a problem with the harp and I was too nervous to figure it out at the time, or too excited, one or the other. And it was a plugged harp. All right, this is Will You Walk With Me? And it's written about the senseless massacre, slaughter of a family out having a pleasant walk in London, Ontario. the wrong part. Here we go again. I'm going out walking where you walk. Sidewalks are lovely on a summer evening. I'm going out walking where you walk with me. Walking doesn't cost anything. Walking is free. It's free. Look at me walking with my family. Mama, Papa, Grandma, big sister, and me. Cut down just because they're the color of our skin. Walking doesn't cost anything. Walking is free. I'm 9 years old and must comprehend so suddenly life can come to an end. Some people use trucks, same as the gun, destroying life without reason. Hate in their eyes, fear in their hearts. Cowardly blaming. Shooting in the dark. When will it our hearts beat as one? When will raise this privilege be buried and done? Going out walking where you walk, I offer my hand. Will you walk with me? Must I walk alone? Humanity. Walking doesn't cost anything. walking is free. And I'd really much rather you walk with me. Together. Going out walking. Will you walk with me? I'm going out walking. Will you walk with me? No. Well, while we're there, all right, this one is something of a sing-along. Whenever you feel like singing along, just join right in. Look around, so much trouble to be found. Hard to keep your head up when you're beaten to the ground. But like a good friend showing up just in time, gather up the little things, it'll work out just fine. And I will raise you up, raise you up, I will raise you up, my friend. Like the world's tallest tree rising above the canopy, I will raise you up again. We are all brothers and sisters and should never walk alone. Open to the sunshine, every heart, every home. Sing a song together, let your voice fall behind. Like a giant growth, growing tall and swelling tall. I will raise you up, I'll raise you up, I will raise you up, my friend. Like the world's tallest tree rising above the canopy, I will raise you up again. Live a little,
give a little, with away with you. Hand in hand on together now, right now, right now. Gather up the little things that bring you joy each day. Present in the moment, help each other along the way. Now we raise you up, I'll raise you up, I will raise you up, my friend. Like the world's tallest tree rising above the canopy, I will raise you up again. I will raise you up, I'll raise you up, I will raise you up, my friend. Like the world's tallest tree rising above the canopy, I will raise you again and again and again. Thank you. It's a wonderful line. It's a wonderful line. It's a wonderful line. Walking in the fields on this God-given day. The sun pours down and the mist melts away. Birds are singing in cacophony. Gifts the flight all around. Wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. We rise and strive to meet our every need. We gather stones in our infinite green. But if we live our lives to share, everything we need, more than we need. To live among. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. life's around me. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. Don't forget to sing with me. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life.
Thank you. Go out and enjoy life.
Oh,